68% of businesses in the United States reported a talent shortage in 2019. That's 8 million job openings. Yet we have over 10 million able-bodied individuals who are ready to work if they only have the skills that employers need. This is a huge problem that costs employers $250 billion each year. We don't have a talent shortage in this country. We have educational barriers that are blocking businesses from employing their dream employees. My name is Christian Gray, and I'm the founder of Apprenticeship America. We are building a platform for the skilled workforce to break down educational barriers and bridge the skills gap for employers. I want you to think about your company's sales process. You have an ideal customer profile, a marketing plan that targets their pain points, and a sales funnel that walks them through every step. You know exactly how many leads you need at the top of the funnel to get a sale at the bottom of the funnel. Yet when it comes to a company trying to hire someone, what do? We post a listing on Indeed or LinkedIn and wait. We just expect that our dream employees are going to send in their resumes. Could you imagine if your sales team took the same approach as HR did to hiring? Why do we ignore the processes that make sales teams successful when it comes to hiring people? In today's job market, we need a system that targets who we want to work with and lets us be creative in how we hire. HR departments need to be able to target ideal job seekers and walk them through the funnel to turn them into a high-quality employee, just like we do in sales, because, well, HR is sales. We are building a talent relationship management platform, or TRM, that acts as both an online skills bootcamp and a CRM. We call our TRM a workforce funnel. Most employers do employer engagement, but we start by taking a sales approach and help our customers develop an ideal employee profile based on the skills and proclivities of existing employees in the occupation we are trying to fill. We use marketing techniques to target specific job seekers and move them through the rest of the workforce funnel. The root cause of all of the skills gap is educational barriers that block a large portion of this workforce from obtaining the skills that they need to gain meaningful employment. This is why we built the second phase of the funnel as pre-employment training. We build custom online training specific to the skills your business needs that looks and feels like it is your company. This enables those applicants who normally wouldn't apply due to a lack of requirements on the job posting the opportunity to learn the skills necessary to gain employment. The learner will gain tribal knowledge, gain company insight, and explore career possibilities in a way that has never been possible or economically feasible. A lot of people here today may be familiar with the popularity and success of online coding boot camps. This is that, but for the skilled trades. Not everyone will make it to the third level of the workforce funnel, but for the best of them, they get the opportunity to participate in a typically 4 to 8 week paid pre-apprenticeship. Think of this as an internship. During this pre-apprenticeship, the participant goes through structured on-the-job training where they showcase their potential and what they learned in the boot camp. This gives both parties a chance to get to know each other better before a hiring decision is made. The final phase of the workforce funnel is the apprenticeship. This is the formal agreement between the business and apprentice that they will receive related instruction while officially working at the company. By now, you know who this person is and what they're capable of. This entire process not only brings you your ideal employee and equips them with a specific set of skills, but it de-risks the entire hiring process. Never before has talent development been approached this way. Never before has it been financially feasible for a company to attract and train their own custom workforce. With our talent relationship management platform, companies will be able to engage with the type of people they want to work with and teach them the skills they need. Thank you. So that's the end of that presentation. Just a little overview of where the business is and where we plan on going. I tend to answer this in the presentation. So we have current customers. We've actually completed a full grant cycle with one of them. We actually roll all of our services that we provide to companies into workforce development grants to make our cost to our customers net zero. We're working on some welding curriculum, and our skills bootcamp platform is in development. And one of our plans to scale is we have actually partnered with Iowa Jobs for America's graduates. They serve annually about 4,000 students in the state of Iowa, and we're working in tangent with them to equip them with the technical skills to place them into registered apprenticeships throughout the state. We will be moving into here, hopefully by the end of the year, into IT and getting into CNC. And really how we can help, anybody can help, is getting introductions to HR professionals and hiring managers, trade associations, and individuals at economic development groups. Oh, I should probably turn my camera on. My apologies. But thank you, folks.
Excellent.
There I am.
There you are. Does anyone have any questions?
Are you specializing in any one industry?
We are specializing right now in welding. Advanced manufacturing, if you want to put it into a bigger industry. But the biggest, I wouldn't say cries for help, the biggest industries that we have seen, especially just going off of the Iowa high demand occupation list, is welding and IT. We would love to get into healthcare, but the actually Board of Nursing actually blocks a lot of this type of training. So that's a larger problem we want to tackle. And like Susan said, we're not ready to bite off that large of a chunk. Someday.
Thank you.
Yeah. Steven, it's nice to see you again, by the way.
Yeah, I was wondering if you remember my beautiful mug. You've come quite a ways. This is really interesting, man.
Yeah, thank you.
I see working with the community colleges, especially like with the welding, the trades, something that's, quantifiable. I think is good for you, man.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, and I know this question is probably going to come up, some people see us as competing directly with community colleges. And that's originally what I thought first getting into this, but community colleges have been a huge asset in us pushing forward this initiative. So they're a great partner of ours.
Yeah, more of a compliment than a competitor.
Oh, yes, definitely.
I have a question.
Yes.
Could you talk about the demand that you're seeing even in, like, say, I don't know if you've gone to high schools or, could you talk about like the customer demand that you've found?
Yeah. On which side? The talent pool or employer side?
Well, both if you're able to.
Yeah. So there's a lot of research out there that talks about employers needing to be more creative in how they're hiring, and they need to actually be marketing their positions and their company a lot earlier in a potential applicant's life. So that's why I've chosen to work, and I just love Iowa for Jobs for America's graduates. They're phenomenal, but they have that existing talent pool. And they're already preparing a lot of these students to go into the workforce in a lot of these skilled trades areas. We are adding, they do a lot of soft skills competencies. I could go in depth about that, but they really equipping them with the employability skills. And then we bring in the technical component to that and then connect them to the employer and help the employers navigate the different funding mechanisms that are out there, state and federally, because, and there's all this money out there because there is a huge demand for a skilled workforce. Personally, it's not the easiest time right now to talk to employers about hiring and training when a lot of people have just laid a bunch of people off. But before this, it was actually a lot easier to talk to companies. We've had several meetings, actually about 15 meetings we were supposed to have, all get postponed due to COVID-19. So we were seeing a great demand for this. Unfortunately, everything has been slowed down. but knowing in the coming months, the demand is going to pick right back up. Knock on wood, in the next few months.
Thank you.
I have a question. Hey, Ricardo here. I'm curious, could you tell us about who pays for this? Is this something the employer contracts you to provide, and also the job seekers, or do you collect like a finder's fee, or what's your revenue model?
Yeah, so everything is paid for by the business, and that's because of how the different state and federal funding works. So all the services, the pre-employment training is provided free to the job seeker. So once we have the curriculum up and running, the company has their skills boot camp up. The company pays us directly to create and manage all of that, and then we actually file and do all the paperwork for the company to get WIOA funding, IEDA funding, and so forth. So the company pays us, and then we use that to go get the company reimbursed. Does that answer your question?
Is that a reimbursement from the state?
From state, and then there's also federal money out there as well.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious how that worked out. So cool.
Yeah, it's a super confusing process actually when you go down through it.
Any other questions?
I'll ask a question. This is more general about the Iowa EdTech Accelerator program, but how has it like changed your business? Have you learned anything? Have you changed anything from that experience, or what's been your biggest kind of aha moment or takeaway from that?
This is definitely the business has changed through the EdTech. The online skills boot camp is a fairly recent pivot, and that's just due to exactly what Susan said. It's the mentorship and the network that the EdTech Accelerator brings along with it, and having that 7-day sprint feedback. It's intense and it requires us to think in such short term and get data, think about it, and then make another decision whether to continue forward on that sprint path or change direction. But the biggest thing is just having that mentorship, because I think it has allowed us to pivot in a much more clear and defined path going forward.
You want me to answer too?
Yeah, I was going to ask you. We just ran out of time, but I would love to hear your response as well.
I think for us, a lot of our team is very big picture, think way down the road, and also get easily distracted. And maybe that's mostly me, but we can have one conversation with someone and be like, oh, we need to completely change path and go that way instead of actually focus on what we're doing. So I think for our team, the biggest thing is those weekly sprints, as Christian was saying, just because we have to get done what we said we will in a hypothesis. We have to follow through on our test results, and we have to actually see the progress, because it's easy to have all these big ideas. And if nothing happens, well, that's okay. It's 3 months down the road. And this forces us to every week be like, well, did we make our goal or not? And sometimes that's really hard, but it's really good in terms of the business. So I think that, at least for our team, has been the biggest thing.
Do you recommend it to other EdTech companies?
Yeah, I mean, it's intense, and I'm sure everyone will say every startup accelerator is, but for us, definitely, we're a million years ahead of where we would have been if we were just still, not having a daily stand-up and just meeting whenever we could meet up. And so really that prioritization has been huge for us.
Yeah, especially being a one-man show right now. Structure and accountability of not only Eric, but the rest of the other teams, like it's something I desperately needed, a little structure in my life.
I think we all can use that at this point, can't we? Especially during the quarantine.
Amen to that.
I
That's
don't
great.
really care if I ever get on another Zoom meeting though, because everything did move to
I
like
know. I feel so bad.
hours of
for you all.
meetings.
Wish you would have had more time in Iowa City to experience, the town and
Yeah.
each other in person. But what can you do?
We'll just have to accept us in again when we can meet in person.
We'll allow it.
So, Christian, you mentioned you're a one-man team. What sort of roles, kind of as next steps from what you've done now, what sort of roles are you planning to fill in Apprenticeship America going forward?
Oh, that is a great question. I would say someone operationally to. It's difficult. I'm a big picture person, and I think a lot of people who are passionate about education are big picture people because we care a lot about people. So just having a strategic partner and an executor would be very advantageous and would fill in a lot of my skill gaps, where I think I bring a lot of the knowledge and background from how the government funding works, educational background. I need that help to go execute and go out and make those sales. So that'd be someone I'd be looking to fill that role.
That always seems to be a common problem with startups. Like the big picture guy always has the idea, but you need other folks to kind of help you move along.
Yeah,
I know that's from what I've heard about other accelerators. It's tough to be a one man show. So good for you.
It's also tough to like people to join you.
Be like, yeah, you want to work for free for who knows how long to maybe build a company. Yeah, it's definitely a tough sell, but definitely congratulations on getting through by yourself.
Yeah.
Do we have any other questions?
Hey, Kristen, this is Mark. Just a comment, and so I think it's the education component to making sure companies get the right hire is fantastic, and maybe a little bit of expansion on that is to also look at engagement and retention as you think about kind of longer term. Getting the right hire in place is great, but I think also your program really helps with engagement and retention, and maybe tossing in some of that into your presentation deck would really get attention. I just know here in rural spaces, I'm from Pennsylvania, really focused right now. A lot of companies are really focused on, we can hire, but then we hire and 4 months later we realize we had the wrong hire. And so some of that's tied to education, but a lot of that's tied to what you talked about originally, that building that profile and making sure you just got the right person in the right door, had the right attitudes, right behaviors, and then are they really engaged? So I think you addressed that, but maybe just tell a little bit more about how you do that would be great.
Yeah, I definitely could expand on that. Thank you, Mark. The purpose of wanting to increase retention or having that be an outcome really started from just hiring the right person in the first place, but I can definitely do a better job at explaining that.
Nice. Any other questions? We got probably time for one more question before I ask our traditional final question.
I have one. So are you focusing strictly on people who are entry level, or is there an opportunity for you to work with people who already have some skills and they just need the ideal job placement?
So how I would interpret that is people who are unemployed or underemployed. So people who do have a good set of skills, they just might be working 2, maybe sometimes 3 jobs, and they just need that opportunity to be placed in a job where they can really upskill themselves into a job where they just have to have that one job. And typically the companies that I've worked with in the past, we actually started this program by upskilling an existing employee who may be a welder, and we upskill them to a welding manager or supervisor. And then we kind of backfill that entry level welding position so we can really maximize the company's ROI in the financials of how it all works. So yes, both are kind of intertwined in our services.
Nice. Anyone else? Not hearing anything. I'm going to ask our traditional final question. What can we do as a community to help you?
The best thing I think is, especially with the nature of the work that we're doing, we want to be very careful about the first 10 to 15 companies we work with. So warm introductions to companies that are in the manufacturing space that are hopefully currently hiring for a welding position. I would love to have some conversations with the hiring manager or supervisor about the services we offer and how we can just serve them better and get the word out, because I think these services are much needed, and there's employers are desperately searching for a workforce in the next coming months, especially.
It's definitely been an interesting time to see how this all pans out for you. So,
Yes.
and then how can we? I know you had a slide up. How can we get in contact with you after the event today?
My email is just christian@apprenticeshipamerica.com.